Hi guys, welcome to another online tutorial. This is Stitches by Antonia. So guys, today we're going to be cutting a shirt dress. Yes, a shirt dress. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm measuring my length to make sure I have enough fabric to go around my body. So after making sure I had enough fabric, the next thing I need to do is to rule my starting line. So I'm making sure I have a straight line. So after showing that I have a straight line, the next thing I did was to measure my length. So I'm making use of 38 inches for my length. Yes, 38 inches. So after getting 38 inches for my length, the next thing I did was to rule the line into a straight line. So basically, I was not sure if you were going to see the marker, the chalk. So I decided to use a marker pen. So what I'm doing now is I'm making sure I have enough fabric to go on my body. So I'm measuring my front bodies first. Yes, I'm measuring my front bodies first, and I'm using the biggest part of my body, which is my hip. So my hip is 36 inches divided by 4, which is 9 inches. 9 inches plus 2 inches, then 2 extra inches for my button loop. So I'm making sure I have enough fabric for it. So after getting the fabric that I needed, the next thing I did was to measure my button line, which was 2 inches. So I measure out 2 inches for my button line and I roll that into a straight line. So remember, I am starting from my initial starting point that I started with from the beginning of the video. So I rolled it down to the 38 inches, which is my length. So after getting that, the next thing I did was to measure my shoulder. So my shoulder is 7.5 inches. Remember, I'm starting it from that 2 inches that I rolled for my bottom. So the length that I'm also making use of is 8.5 inches. 8.5 inches, and I make that into a straight line. After getting that, I went ahead to mark my waist. So I'm making use of 17 inches for my waist. 17 inches for my waist. So after getting my waist, I went ahead to measure my chest line, which is my bust. My bust is 34 inches divided by 4 inches, which is 8.5, plus the allowance that I had it. And my waist is 26 inches divided by 4, 6.5, plus the allowance that I also had it. So for my waist, I went ahead to measure 8 inches for my hip line. So my hip is 36 inches divided by 4 plus the allowance that I had it. Then from the knee length, I took out 1.5 inches. So and I joined all lines together using my ruler. So after doing that, I went ahead to get the midpoint of my armhole. First of all, I took out 1 inches for my shoulder slant and I measured half of the remaining that I had left. So I measured the midpoint of the armhole took in half inches and I joined all lines together, so making me have a new armhole. So after doing that, the next thing I went ahead to do was to get my neckline. So basically I used 3 inches by 3 inches. Then I rolled my shoulder slants. So I decided to shorten it. I decided to roll my back neckline too, so which is 3 inches by 1. So after doing that, I cut. So at first I didn't cut the neckline because I wanted to cut the back neckline first. So I make sure I had the same length that I had. But in this case for the back is not going to have a button. So it is just going to be the normal hip divided by 4 plus allowance that is necessary. So you can add 1 inch, 2 inch or 1.5, but the highest is always 2 inches. You shouldn't go more than that. So I'm sticking out the 2 inches out for the button because the bag do not need it. So after cutting the back, I went ahead to cut the initial neckline that I measured for the front. So cut the front neckline. Then I slit the center open. So that will be my button line. So I'm measuring out 2 inches for my buttonhole structure. So I'm using an interface for that. So I'm going to iron that on the button space that I left on the fabric. So that is where I'm going to be ironing it to give that side a very nice structure. So this is the front and the back laid together. So for the sleeve, I already have a tutorial on my channel on how to cut a full circle flare. So I'm using this for the sleeve. So if you haven't watched that, please go scroll down to my page, my channel, and watch how I cut it. So I'm not going to be doing that here. So this is what I have for the leftover fabric. So this is what I'm going to be making use of to cut the collar. So thank you guys. Watch out for part 2.